Welcome to the presentation on business cards. And we're a little bit at a disadvantage this time because we're not able to go in and do business cards all on the same computers in the Hartnell Computer Lab. And so I do have a reading assignment on Canvas, create business cards in Publisher, Microsoft Publisher. And we don't have Microsoft Publisher on everybody's computer at home. So we have to use other things, or maybe you do. Maybe you have a version of Microsoft Office with Publisher installed. If that is the case, then when you go to the Microsoft Publisher business cards document that I have here, you can read through very quickly. And not much has changed. Publisher's pretty stable in terms of what the 2016 version and the current version is. I haven't seen much differences at all. I'm sure there are minor improvements and functionality added, but all the basics are there. The nice thing about Microsoft Publisher that really makes it handy is when you create a document, you can already start with all of your information field in a mini database, which has the name of the person, your job title, your address, your phone numbers, all of that information, company name, etc., all of that pre-loaded with a set of information, and then you can save that as a business set or business information set. And so you can have multiple business information sets for different employees, different locations, etc. And once you have this information, you decide on a template that you wish to use, and you click on the business information, and it will pre-fill in all of the information. And it doesn't get it 100% right all the time. Sometimes your information doesn't fit exactly in the template and you have to go in and polish things up, but you're 99% of the way there. Now, since we don't have Microsoft Publisher and you don't have that handy tool, there are other tools we'll have to use. But I'm going to just point out a couple other quick things before I get to Microsoft Word as a secondary choice of a tool that can create business cards. And so you can look at basic designs, the banner size on your business cards, and different kinds of design elements. It talks about adding text, and you can have special tools, text fit, which is really nice in Publisher that you do have that in Excel. I'm not aware of a fit text kind of a functionality in Word. It might be there. I just have never hunted for it, but it's much more obvious. Again, this is designed to make business cards and flyers and brochures and other kinds of documents that are likely to be very specific in their layout, maybe two-sided. Here's two-sided business cards. A lot of companies have two-sided business cards. They're more expensive to print, but they can be really, really slick when used properly. And I wouldn't suggest going with a two-sided business card unless you have something that is meaningful. It is going to be slick, catchy, memorable. Just to add more information and split it onto two sides, that's not memorable. That's just a waste of money. But again, you can probably think of some business cards you've received in the past. One-sided is perfectly functional. The thing I like about a one-sided business card, especially nothing fancy, it's just a thick cardstock paper, you can write notes on the back. So when you meet somebody, they give you their business card, blank on the back side. I almost say thank you because I want to write down the date, how I met them, a brief note about what our conversation was or what the follow-up is, something. Then I stick it in my backpack, briefcase, pocket, wherever, wallet. depending on the situation. And then when I get home, I can follow up. If they've got a fancy card that's full of stuff on both sides, or it's slick surface on a shiny picture on one side, your pen doesn't write, it's not as convenient. And I need to find something to write on really quickly. So as slick as those two-sided cards are, think it through. Single-sided, plain cardstock, cheaper, and you can make them pretty dang attractive. It doesn't have to be two-sided. But again, I'm thinking ag. I'm thinking construction. I'm thinking jobs where you're not a graphic artist or a web designer or a marketing specialist or something, even in ag, marketing specialist, where you might really want your cards to stand out, to show, hey, I'm on the creative side of the fence, and look how damn creative this business card is. This is cool, this is functional, it's catchy, and that's when the two-sided might really make sense and be worth the money, and be worth a minor inconvenience to your customers when you hand them a card, that they can't just jot a note on the back because the back is already full. Anyway, you can insert information. Not going to go through this. Yeah, there are also lots of tools online. There's things like Vistaprint. I think they're owned in China, but they are a great way to get bulk business cards cheap, and other places. I think the Walmarts and Targets of the world have their own business card printing operations. There are things you can do to build it in their own tool online. That can be handy. Then your cards are already set if you're using a professional business card printing service. Now, certainly, I've actually used Vistaprint in the past, and it's been a long time, so I can't tell you what they're like now. But the nice thing about their tools is if I needed to order more cards, they were already there. I just hit click on order. They were definitely a cost-effective way back then, and there's some much more fancy places, and I would have considered going with a fancier place with more options if I really needed it, and I just didn't need it. Anyway, Microsoft Word, let's go to that really quickly. Here is a template. What did I do there? I went File, New, and you're in this File, New template selection. I can start with a blank document, but for something like a 10 page or 10 business cards on a page, you really can't do that. Sometimes when you buy business card stock, they have these super micro perforations that tear without any fray. They break apart beautifully. And so you can buy those at a Staples, Office Depot kind of a location, or on Amazon. And they work really, really well for low volume cards. You only need 10, 20 cards. I would shy away from them if you start hitting the 100, 150 cards mark. Just get it printed from a professional service. But if you set it up first, you can avoid some of the professional design and layout needs. You can create one business card, perfect, send them the image file, and then they can then do the printing, and you don't have to pay for all the layout and design costs. But anyway, I don't want to start with a blank document. That's too hard. So they're templates. So I can do something really simple. Business cards. Bingo. And I don't want to hit enter, because if I have anything highlighted, it might open something. But, blank document is highlighted. So if I hit enter, I might get a blank document. I type in business cards, and I click on the search arrow. And there's not a whole lot here, but there are some templates. And if you buy the business card printing stock from a Staples or Avery Paper, wherever, there's a good chance that the manufacturer of the business card paper will have a website where you can go and download more links. And it's really handy to make sure you actually do that. If I go in here with a Microsoft Word template, is it going to line up exactly with the perforations on their paper? Maybe, maybe not. I think you're much better off to make sure you're using a template from the manufacturer of the paper, even if it's just a blank with 10 squares on the page. Doesn't matter. So here I go for a simple design. Let's pick that one. And I'm going to say download. And there's the information. Another beauty about Microsoft Publisher versus Word, at least with some templates are better than others. Some templates actually allow you to fill in the information once and it will propagate throughout the rest of the page. But here, Hartnell Produce, LLC. And maybe that's just a little too, well, I can make this a little bigger. Bingo. All right, so I just did that. Now I've got to copy and paste that information after filling in street address, which is 411 Central Avenue. And I'm not going to do all of this. I'm just going to do one little thing. Now I can actually take this, copy it, highlight the next one, and paste. Oops, shoot, excuse me. Nope. Different templates behave differently. Yeah, if I delete that information, it doesn't like it at all. And that's one of the challenges of templates. Now I've got to go through and retype Hartnell Produce, LLC, repeatedly. It won't take that long, but yeah, you know, I've got to do it 10 times because there are 10 business cards here. For the logo, you know, I can select the logo, highlight it, and say insert picture. So I already have my logo, and I want to do penguins as my, well, let me do a horizontal one. Hydrangeas, I think, is a horizontal image. And bingo, it just put in the hydrangeas picture that's a little bit too big, so I'm going to make it a little smaller. And then the position title, you know, I'm the farm manager, a little too big. It doesn't all show. So I'm going to make that 9-point font. And that's still not small enough. There, farm manager. So I got it laid out. Stephen Triano. Farm manager. And, you know, maybe I'll make that 13 so it fits, 12. I got to play with, oops. There, Stephen Triano, farm manager at Hartnell Produce. Now I got to do that 10 times, maybe. Sometimes it'll allow you to click the whole thing as a group, Control C. Let's see if this one allows me. Click on the outside box, Control V. Bingo. Bingo, it let me do that. I can click on the next one, Control V. And some of them let you do it, some of them don't. The key is I don't want to be highlighted inside of one of the text boxes. I want to be clicking only on the outside box. Make sure that's all that's highlighted, and then paste it. So I highlight the outside box here, copy, highlight the outside box here, Control V, paste. And then now I can very, very quickly do all 10, you know, assume that I finished the first one exactly the way I wanted. And I've dealt with some of the Microsoft Word templates like this that get a little bit of banging my head around, and they work out all right. And others, well, let me see what happens if I do click on the wrong thing. Control V. Yeah, it doesn't like it. I selected, if you notice here, I've selected the box inside of the box where it says company name. I have to select the outside box and paste. Some of them work beautifully, like this one. Pretty simple layout, pretty easy to do. Now, obviously, I'd pick a better picture and I'd work a little bit better. Other ones, I just did this one. This one's a real pain in the behind. I could not figure out a way, once I finished the upper left corner, to copy and paste it into the other 9 panels. I like the look of this card, but I don't like the fact that I'm going to have to do it 10 times before I go to the printer. Anyway, that's just a quickie on business cards. And I would suggest you play around with them, see what you can do.